You guys, time is going so quickly. Welcome back to another episode. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but welcome back to another episode of 25 Crafts 2025. We are on episode 9, and these are the crafts that we have coming up today. So I picked these at complete random from my hobby trolley craft cart thing. But we have felt sewing kit, this little bear, and another Pom Pom. Was it a Pom Pom kit last time? No, it was a wool kit, a Pom Pom kit. So again, these are just kids' crafts, but they're fun, you know, they're cozy. They're meant to be cozy. If you saw last episode, it was not cozy, it was a disaster. So let's hope these go better. Hey, voiceover MJ here. So we are starting off with the Pom Pom kit. This is from Hobbycraft, and the first thing that I did was take everything out, have a look over the instructions, and just kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. I put a scrap piece of paper down just for the painting side because I didn't want to get paint over my lap tray. I opened the paint and was a little bit disappointed. Again, I know the kids' craft, but it was basically empty. At this point, I was like, is there going to be enough? But it spread quite well, so I was fine with that. It worked okay. Unfortunately, I lost a bit of footage, so as you can see, we've missed a part of the painting process, but that's okay. I was literally it's just one colour, you know, it's just kind of slapping it on, to be honest. So that's what I'm doing here. Usually when I do these videos, I do one craft, talk about it, and then the second craft, and then talk about that one. But I had to let this dry, and I thought, I'm just going to do it all in one go. So we're moving on to the teddy bear kit, sewing kit, and I'm going to talk about them both later. And of course, we'll be finishing the Pom Pom kit once I've done this one and once it's dried fully. So getting straight into it, again, just going through all the little pieces. There wasn't instructions in the kit, it was actually on the back of the packaging, which confused me for a second, but it's okay. This kit was really beginner friendly, and I definitely recommend it for people who want to learn how to sew but don't want to just start like straight away with like from scratch. With the fact that there were holes really helped to like make sure they were the right length, if that makes sense, because see the hole's already there. Ignore me putting it in the wrong way, let's just ignore that. But anyways, definitely they're beginner friendly. I've got nerve damage in my wrists as well, and I actually found this really helpful. It didn't seem to hurt as much as I was expecting, because there are a few crafts that I've got to be careful with, or like on a bad day I just can't do it. And then as you can see here, I'm trying to tie the knot. I think I take it out actually and start again, because I couldn't work out. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't work out how to tie the knot, but I did it after taking it out, if that makes sense. You can see what I'm doing, hopefully. I'm sorry if you can't, but I'm not very good at describing things. I am trying my best. Anyways, I was able to sort the knot out, so that's what I'm doing now. And then it's time to just go back into sewing. I was going to say needling then. I don't think that's a term, to be honest. But yeah, so that was just me sorting out the knot, and now we're going back to doing the nose. This bit really confused me, to be honest, because I'm not great at knowing about stitches, and there wasn't that like in detail like how to do the stitching. So I knew like going in and out, obviously you'd miss part of it, so I had to go back in and do some of the holes like twice, because as you can see, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. What is the terminology for sewing? But yeah, I had to go back in and then back out twice, just to kind of make it so it's one line rather than a line gap like that, if that makes sense. So that bit definitely confused me, and I think it looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I know that's not how you were meant to have done it. So here I am just finishing off at the back so that that's done, and then moving on to the next part. Next up, we're doing the stomach. This was with a different coloured thread, so I wasn't sure if I'd need to use the black thread again. I just left it. I didn't cut it yet because I was a bit anxious I'd do something wrong with it. But we didn't need it. Spoiler alert, we didn't need the black thread, so I could have just cut it off there and made things so much easier. But I didn't. That's okay. We worked for it. It worked. It went okay. It's fine. We're good. So this bit it took quite a while. It took longer than I expected it to take, but the outline of the bear took even longer. So you'll see that in a minute. This is me just kind of trying to avoid the black thread and trying not to get it stuck on the leg. As you can see a few times, I keep getting it like caught and I'm having to rearrange it, but that's fine. The more I did this, the more I realised how repetitive it was, and honestly I kind of like that. I'm autistic and have ADHD, and sometimes like repetitiveness is like, I don't even know how to explain it, I just really like it. So I quite enjoyed like going in and out like with the sewing. And I think I'm going to look at getting some more of these kits, to be honest. I'm trying to teach myself to sew like from scratch. I bought a sewing kit recently, so I've been trying to use that. But yeah, this has been really fun so far. Probably high up on my list of favourite crafts so far that we've done in this series. Here's a little update of how it's going. I needed to find scissors, so I went to have a look for my pencil case just so I could cut off the threads. Here I am with the pencil case. I bought it from Kenji, and literally everything in there except for my glue sticks are from Kenji. I'm a tad obsessed. But here we are, we cut off the thread. So next up is to actually sew the bear. So sew it into one piece, basically. So it said to start on the right leg or the left leg, I can't remember which now, so that you could leave the other leg open. And that was basically so you could put the stuffing in. So this is me just sorting out the needle, and then I'll get straight into sewing it, putting it all together. This part of the video is fairly long, so I'm going to actually cut it down a bit. I was going to just add music and put it on, like keep the full clips and just do music in the background, but it is literally just me sewing a bear, and I don't know how many people would want to watch that, so I'm just going to skip that bit. So next up, it's time to add the stuffing. I took out a few stitches that I did just to make it a bit easier. I'll restitch them later or sew them later. It was just because I was kind of struggling to get the stuffing into the hole. It was really difficult to get the stuffing into the arms and the ears, obviously because they're so small, but I think it looked okay at the end. We got there. At the start of this, I thought, yeah, the stuffing's going to be the easiest to do, when actually it wasn't, it was the hardest. The sewing was actually the easiest. I didn't actually realise it came with holes already, so, but I actually preferred that, to be honest, as a beginner. Once the stuffing was in, I finished sewing it up, and I added a tiny bit more stuffing at the end, just for the leg that we'd kept open, basically, so that it didn't fall out when I was sewing. The final to-do of this craft was adding on the little blush, like, stickers, and also the googly eyes. Now, I spent a good 5 minutes trying to find the peel off for the sticker of the googly eyes, and I just couldn't. I could not find them. So instead, I basically used some sticky tape, just some like craft sticky tape that you can get for card making, and I cut them into tiny pieces and stuck them on, because as you can see, I'm having a nightmare. This is the tape I used, by the way. I think it was like £1 from the work for like a pack of 2 maybe. I don't know, don't quote me on that might be wrong, but I literally cut them into tiny pieces, peeled that off, and then added it to the little bear. Look how cute this is. I actually love it. We are now moving on to the next craft. Well, we'd already started it earlier, but we are continuing it. So it was time to glue on the top piece to the bottom piece, and I just used the glue that it came with. I did a bit of extra glue around the edges and just kind of like wiped it with my finger to kind of make it go across and spread, just to make sure it was glued and stuck together well. I then made an absolute mess and got beads and pom-poms everywhere, and some beads fell onto the floor, but I think I found them all. I'm so sorry that my head is in the shot of this frame. I do that a lot for these next few clips, but using the same glue to stick the top and the bottom piece together, I'm just spreading it along the inside and sticking in the pom-poms. So alternating between mostly pink, but then a few blues dotted around the space. I tried to do it in sections because I didn't want the glue to dry up fully. I also hadn't realised how much glue was actually in the little bottle. I was really scared I was going to run out, so I was being really careful with the amount that I was using, but I actually could have used a lot more. So I just continued doing this until they were full. The top bit was pink and blue, and then the bottom bit, the little bit that's like separate, is white. Here I am doing the white bit, and then next up we have the googly eye. which I actually could find the sticky of this one, so I didn't have to use tape, and I was very pleased for that. I found it like almost instantly, like the edge of the sticker. So maybe the last kit didn't have a sticky back, but you'd assume it would. Anyways, I'm now separating the beads and the extra pom-poms, and this is to do the little hanging thread part. And to be honest, I wasn't keen with this part, and I make a lot of bracelets, but I didn't like the thread. It kept like, what's the word, like fraying, is that the word, at the edges, and I keep having to like cut the edge and then put a bead on, and then cut it again, and then put another bead on, and in the end I got to like 8 beads and I gave up. Here is the final piece. Now let's talk about them. Hey, so we're going to talk about the crafts. I apologise if you hear like a background noise. Dehumidifier's on, but anyways, so we'll start off with the little felt sewing kit. This is the side's coming off a little bit, one of the stickies, there we go. This is the finished piece. I think it looks really cute. So I really liked this one. I think it was a lot of fun to do, and the stuffing and putting in the hanging piece was the hardest, but we got there eventually. So I don't know, I might like hang this on my Christmas tree when Christmas comes around or something, because I don't know where else I'd put it, but I think that's really cute. And then we have the pom-pom making kit. So this is the finished piece. Doing the beads was an absolute nightmare, so there's only 4 on each side, but I don't know, I think it's cute. There's a piece up here where a pom-pom fell off, but that's okay, it's fine. But yeah, that's that. The back I kind of want to paint because it's got a few splodges on it, but I guess you won't really see that once it's hanging, but then it swivels, so I might paint that. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching episode 9 of this series. So episode 10 will be coming next month, and I've not decided what I'm doing for it yet. I've got a rough idea, but I've not got a full plan yet. Let me know what you thought of these crafts, and if you have any crafts that I haven't tried yet or that you'd like me to try, then let me know, and I will try and give them a go. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!